building on the lively world of The Dream of Jeannie, a comedy series that aired from 1965 to 1970, featuring Barbara Eden as a playful and alluring Jeannie and Larry Hagman as her astronaut master. The focus shifts to the intense rivalry between Jeannie and Samantha. On the shows, their confrontations often turned into fiery clashes, with hair flying and emotions running high. These moments of conflict showcase their strong personalities and unwillingness to back down, leading to memorable on-screen fights that captivated viewers. As the scenes unfolded, both characters displayed fierce determination, exchanging sharp words and engaging in physical displays of frustration and defiance. These catfights became highlights, illustrating not just their rivalry, but also the underlying bond they shared beneath the surface. The scenes were executed with careful timing, balancing humor and drama, and kept audiences on edge as hair and voices soared. Through these exchanges, the shows revealed how strong-willed women could express their independence, even in moments of conflict. These heated exchanges remain some of the most talked-about moments in TV comedy history, showing that even characters with magical and fantastical backgrounds could have real human battles. At first, NBC was very unsure about the new TV series I Dream of Jeannie, and they did not have much faith in it. They believed that the show might only last for one season, so they wanted to save money by filming the first season in black and white instead of color. This decision was based on their doubts about the show's success. However, Sidney Sheldon, the producer of the show, believed in the series and was willing to spend extra money to improve its quality. He offered to pay $400 more for each episode so the show could be filmed in color from the very beginning. Unfortunately, NBC's team from Screaming Gems warned Sheldon that it would be a waste of money because they didn't think the show would last beyond the first season. Because of this, the first season was filmed in black and white to keep costs low. After the show became popular and successful, the producers decided to make the episodes in color for the second season. They used a process similar to what was done with Gilligan's Island, where the original black and white episodes were converted into color afterward. This way, they could save money during the first season and upgrade to full color once the show proved to be a hit. Despite the initial skepticism, I Dream of Jeannie became a well-loved series, and its transition to color helped it grow even more popular with viewers. Because Sidney Sheldon openly admits that he drew inspiration from the comedy movie The Brass Bottle from 1964, which starred Tony Randall as a man who releases a humorous but troublesome male Jeannie, played by Burl Ives, he based the idea for I Dream of Jeannie on this film. In The Brass Bottle, the story revolves around a man who accidentally unleashes a male genie that causes more chaos than help for his master. Sheldon took this concept and adapted it into the television series, creating a story about a female genie instead of a male one. The show features a magical genie who appears from a bottle to serve her master, often leading to funny and confusing situations. Interestingly, Tony Randall's girlfriend in the film was played by Barbara Eden, who also starred as Jeannie in the TV series. Her role as a charming and mischievous genie became iconic and helped make the show a hit. Sheldon's use of the film as a working model helped shape the humor and themes of the show, blending fantasy with comedy in a way that entertained audiences for years. The series from 1965 became a lasting part of TV history, thanks in part to this original idea that borrowed elements from an earlier film. While filming the television series I Dream of Jeannie in 1965, Barbara Eden faced several restrictions regarding her costume and scenes to ensure the show adhered to broadcast standards of the time. According to Eden, network executives and censors were initially unconcerned about her navel being visible during shooting. However, this stance changed by the third season after someone casually mentioned that her navel was sometimes seen when the waistband of her costume shifted. As a result, her costume was modified so that her navel needed to be covered at all times, but that was just the beginning of the censorship rules. The producers added extra layers to the chiffon bottom of her costume so that her legs could not be seen through the fabric, ensuring modesty. Additionally, scenes where Tony and Jeannie were alone in a bedroom had specific rules. If they were ever shown alone, the scene had to include one or both characters leaving the room, as Jeannie was not allowed to blink out by herself. When Jeannie disappeared, the scene had to show her smoke leaving her bottle, but the bottle was never allowed to be seen in Tony's room at any time. These rules were put into place to prevent any implication of impropriety or romantic tension between Tony and Jeannie, even on a subtle level, reflecting the conservative standards for television during that era. Despite the restrictions, the show remained popular and beloved, with fans often marveling at how the playful and magical elements were conveyed within such strict guidelines. Immediately after the pilot of I Dream of Jeannie was sold, Barbara Eden received the surprising news that she was pregnant. She had been trying to have a baby for 7 years and faced many challenges with infertility. When she found out about her pregnancy, she knew it was a special moment, but it also changed her plans. She had originally planned to continue working on the show, but now she thought about quitting so she could focus on her pregnancy and later becoming a mother. She felt strongly about letting Sheldon Leonard know her decision, so she asked to see him that very same day. She wanted to tell him that she would be leaving the show and that he should find another actress to play Jeannie. However, Sheldon Leonard was very determined. He believed that Barbara Eden was perfect for the role, and that no one else could take her place. He convinced her that they could make the show work, even with her pregnancy. Despite her plans to quit, she decided to stay and continue her role as Jeannie, which turned out to be one of her most famous characters. Her pregnancy was kept a secret for a time, but it added a special touch to the show. Throughout the series, her real-life pregnancy was later incorporated into the story in a subtle way. This coincidence became a notable part of the show's history, and Barbara Eden's dedication helped make I Dream of Jeannie a beloved classic on television. Later, Larry Hagman revealed that there was a time during the filming of the show when he seriously considered quitting. He felt tired of repeating the same scripts over and over. He believed that if he left the show, he would be seen as difficult to work with, and it would harm his career. Sidney Sheldon, the show's creator, advised him not to quit because he explained that leaving a popular show at that time could make it impossible for Hagman to find new acting job. This advice made Hagman realize that he had to stay in the show, but he decided to ask for more pay instead. He requested an additional $5,000 per episode. At first, the producers refused, fearing that if Hagman got more money, other actors might want the same. But he was persistent and kept asking until they finally agreed. This extra money made Hagman feel better about putting up with the repetitive scripts. He also wanted to bring in new writers to make the stories more interesting. As a result, the producers listened and brought in fresh writers, which helped improve the show's quality and kept Hagman motivated to continue. This situation shows how he stood up for himself and worked to make his experience better. Since the original theme music for I Dream of Jeannie was not used during its first season, many viewers did not become familiar with it until later in the show's run. In the initial episodes, the series did not have the iconic opening tune that many fans associate with the show. This was because the first season was not syndicated along with the rest of the series, meaning it was not widely broadcast, and only a limited number of people had seen it before the show was released on DVD. When the series was later made available in home video format, viewers around the world could finally enjoy the full experience, including the memorable theme music that has since become a classic. Meanwhile, the Nelson home, which was featured in the show, still exists today. It is located on the Warner Brothers Ranch in Burbank, California. Over the years, the house has not been heavily altered. Aside from some minor cosmetic changes, it remains almost exactly the same as it appeared in the series more than 50 years ago. Today, the house serves a new purpose, functioning as the ranch operations office. It stands as a historic reminder of the show and still draws interest from fans and visitors who want to see a part of television history. The preservation of the Nelson home helps keep alive the memory of the series and its impact on popular culture. During the filming of the classic 1965 TV series I Dream of Jeannie, Larry Hagman, who played Major Anthony Nelson, was known for his charismatic and humorous performance. However, later reports revealed a different side of his work on the show. Before he passed away, Hagman admitted that he was often under the influence of alcohol while filming many episodes. He reportedly drank champagne frequently, acting as though it was just cherry Kool-Aid. This behavior was continuous and noticeable to anyone who watched the show at the time, even if it wasn't immediately obvious. In numerous close-up shots, viewers can observe that his eyes appeared bloodshot, glazed, and glassy, showing signs of intoxication. At the time of the 1960s broadcast, these effects were not easily detectable because of the limited technology used in television screens then. However, with modern digital technology and high-definition screens, it becomes much clearer that Hagman was not always sober during filming. This revelation has changed some fans' perceptions of the show's production, as they realized that behind the comedy and good-natured humor, there was a man struggling with his own issues. Despite these personal struggles, Larry Hagman's performance contributed greatly to the enduring popularity of I Dream of Jeannie, a show that combined fantasy, comedy, and charm, and remains a beloved part of television history. Eyes that once seemed full of mischief now reveal a troubled past, highlighting the complex life behind the actor's iconic character. Since the decision to have Tony and Jeannie get married in the 5th season was made by the network in the hope that it would boost ratings, it caused significant controversy among the cast and fans. Barbara Eden, who played Jeannie, completely disagreed with the idea of her character marrying Tony. She felt that the concept of a marriage between a genie and a human was unrealistic and difficult to accept. The rest of the cast shared her feelings, and nobody really liked the idea. They believed that changing the relationship in this way would take away the show's original charm and humor. Before the marriage, the comedy often arose from the magical and humorous situations that Jeannie would create and the romantic tension between her and Tony. When Jeannie became a typical housewife instead of a genie, the opportunities for funny and unexpected scenarios greatly decreased. It also eliminated the main source of tension in the show, which was their unlikely romance and the magical challenges that came with it. This change made the show different and less entertaining for many fans who loved the original premise. The cast and viewers felt that the essence of the show was lost once the magic and the romantic tension were removed. The decision to have Tony and Jeannie marry ultimately changed the show's direction in a way that many did not approve of, and it affected the show's popularity and storytelling dynamic. Because of the complexity involved in filming the show, Barbara Eden had to take on dual roles as both Jeannie and her evil sister in 8 episodes. She explained that when filming these episodes, the production team would often alternate between filming her as Jeannie against a double one day, and then as her evil sister against a different double the next day. This process was very detailed, as each character required completely different costumes, hair, and makeup styles. Since the costumes and hairstyles for Jeannie and her sister were so distinct, it took a lot of time to transform her into each character. This made it impossible to film both parts on the same day because the makeup and costume changes were too extensive and time-consuming. As a result, the show's producers had to carefully plan each scene and shooting schedule to accommodate these complex transformations. Barbara Eden's ability to convincingly portray 2 very different characters within the same series was a testament to her talent and dedication. She managed to bring to life the playful, kind-hearted Jeannie and her more sinister, evil sister, creating some of the most memorable moments in the series. These episodes stand out because of the special effort involved in portraying her dual roles, and fans still remember her amazing acting and the unique challenges she faced while filming. Her work on these episodes added depth to the series and made the story more interesting for viewers. All of this effort showed how much dedication Barbara Eden put into her role, helping to make the show a beloved classic. Immediately, the competition between the television series I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched became legendary, capturing the attention of viewers and industry insiders alike. Bewitched had established itself as a hugely popular show, sitting firmly as the second most watched program on television at the time. It featured Elizabeth Montgomery as Samantha, a charming witch married to a mortal man, Darren, and had no direct competition in its time slot. However, everything changed when NBC introduced I Dream of Jeannie, a new fantasy-themed comedy starring Barbara Eden. This show was NBC's answer to Bewitched, and quickly became a serious contender in the same genre. Both shows centered around women with magical powers who fell in love with ordinary men, creating obvious similarities that fans couldn't ignore. From the very beginning, the opening credits of both series showcased these parallels. Bewitched used an animated intro of Elizabeth Montgomery's character, Samantha, alongside her husband, emphasizing her witchcraft, while I Dream of Jeannie featured Barbara Eden's Jeannie in a similar animated sequence, highlighting her magical persona. What made I Dream of Jeannie particularly competitive was the allure of Barbara Eden's appearance. Her outfit, which was notably more revealing and sexier than Samantha's, drew wide attention and added to the show's popularity. Barbara Eden was known for her stunning looks and a physique that caught the audience's eye, making Jeannie not only a magical character but also a visual magnet on screen. This contrast in costumes contributed to the new show's appeal, especially since it offered more sex appeal, amplifying its ratings and challenging Bewitched's dominance. Behind the scenes, the rivalry extended beyond rating. Elizabeth Montgomery was reportedly furious, feeling that her show was being copied and her star power was being overshadowed. Although Barbara Eden maintained that she and Elizabeth Montgomery were polite and cordial during public appearances, industry insiders suggest that a real tension simmered beneath the surface. Elizabeth Montgomery's dislike of the similarities and the unintended competition created feelings of bitterness, especially as the shows became more directly comparable in the minds of viewers. Both series also utilized similar visual styles in their opening sequences, opting for animated intros that spotlighted the women's magical abilities and their relationships with mortal men. Despite the rivalry, Elizabeth Montgomery expressed that she never truly antagonized Barbara Eden personally, but the competition clearly affected perception. Since the early 1990s, these shows have been grouped together in syndication, often aired back-to-back, partly because both shows are now owned by Sony Pictures. This pairing has cemented their status as sister sitcoms, and their rivalry remains a memorable chapter in television history. The legacy of these two shows endures, with fans still debating which series was superior, and which star carried the larger magic spell on the small screen. I Dream of Jeannie is a television series that has garnered a range of opinions from viewers and critics alike, reflecting both its strengths and shortcomings within its historical and cultural context. At its core, the show offers an engaging premise involving a quirky Jeannie, and her interactions with an astronaut, Major Tony Nelson, which together create a light-hearted and often amusing fantasy narrative. The series has been noted for its overall watchability, capturing the interest of audiences with its straightforward storytelling and charming cast. The performances of the actors are generally regarded as committed, contributing positively to the series' appeal. However, some critics feel that the storyline was somewhat simplistic and predictable, lacking the complexity or depth that might elevate it beyond its episodic formula. Additionally, the chemistry between the main characters is often described as adequate, but could have benefited from stronger on-screen rapport to deepen viewer engagement. From a production standpoint, there is a sense that the creative team could have put in more effort to enrich the show's narrative and character development. Despite this, the series remains accessible and enjoyable for a broad audience, offering a feel-good escapism that was particularly appealing during its original era. Its themes often revolve around personal desires, freedom, and societal norms, subtly emphasizing that everyone's aspirations and pursuits are unique. This message resonates with viewers who appreciate stories about individual liberty and personal fulfillment, though some critics point out that their own lived experiences may not always align with such idealized notions of freedom, highlighting broader social disparities. Culturally and historically, I Dream of Jeannie is reflective of its time, Produced in the years following World War II, a period marked by significant social change and evolving gender roles. Some interpret the show as a metaphor for returning soldiers bringing home their overseas brides, encapsulating both the nostalgia and the shifting dynamics of American society in the 1960s. The portrayal of gender roles in particular has attracted critical discussion. While some see it as somewhat stereotypical or conservative by modern standards, others argue that within the context of its era, the show attempted a more progressive portrayal than was typical at the time. It aligns with the first wave of feminism's influence following the 19th Amendment, and subtly reflects those early ideas about women's independence and societal roles, even if it does so through a lens that appears dated today. The series' gender dynamics have attracted criticism for their traditionalism, yet they also seem to attempt a nuanced balance by hinting at evolving ideas about women's autonomy. The character of Jeannie, with her playful and often subversive behavior, can be viewed as a nod to emerging notions of female empowerment, although her role is predominantly defined by her service to her master. Overall, I Dream of Jeannie embodies the cultural tensions of its time, a blend of conservative values with nascent progressivism, making it a product of its historical moment that might seem antiquated now, but was progressive in its context. The show's light tone, amusing situations, and the chemistry of its cast have contributed to its enduring popularity, yet it also serves as a mirror reflecting societal attitudes of the early 1960s, with all their complexities and contradictions. In conclusion, I Dream of Jeannie stands out as a cherished classic that has managed to captivate audiences across generations through its whimsical premise, engaging performances, and subtle nods to social change. While it might be criticized for its formulaic storytelling and somewhat conservative portrayal of gender roles, these elements are also part of its charm and historical significance. The series offers viewers both entertainment and a glimpse into the cultural landscape of 1960s America, making it a memorable and noteworthy show in the pantheon of classic television. Its ability to balance fantasy with cultural commentary, albeit subtly, helps explain its lasting appeal, even as modern perspectives invite viewers to reevaluate its messages through a more critical lens. As we wrap up exploring the enchanting world of I Dream of Jeannie, there's one more part you won't want to miss. Behind the magic and comedy lies a story about the talented cast whose lives extended far beyond the familiar set. In our bonus section, we reveal surprising details about what happened to the stars after the show ended, uncovering unexpected twists in their careers and personal lives. Some found new fame, while others took surprising turns away from Hollywood fame. We'll shed light on their journeys, revealing intriguing moments that kept fans guessing long after the final episode aired. Stay tuned as we unlock the captivating post-show stories of the cast members who made this beloved series a timeless classic. The truth behind the glamour and fame is more fascinating than you might imagine. Prepare for revelations that will deepen your appreciation for this iconic show and its talented performers. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Philip Ober portrayed General Stone in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, a role that placed him as a stern military figure who often clashed with the show's whimsical tone. His character embodied authority and seriousness, contrasting sharply with the light-hearted antics of the main characters. Ober's presence added a layer of realism and gravity to the series, showcasing his ability to bring a commanding, authoritative aura to the screen. Beyond this role, Philip Ober had a career marked by a mix of steady work in television and film, but he remained a somewhat enigmatic figure. There are whispers of personal hardship and struggles with mental health throughout his life, details often buried beneath his public persona. His career faced turbulent times in the years following the show's end, with some sources indicating periods of financial instability and difficulty adapting to the shifting entertainment landscape. No publicly confirmed scandals tarnished his reputation, but rumors suggest personal issues may have haunted him in later years. The last known information about Ober indicates that he withdrew from the public eye after the 1970s and lived a quiet life, far from the spotlight. His exact circumstances and date of death remain uncertain, leaving a shadow of mystery surrounding his final chapter. The gaps in his story invite reflection on the often hidden struggles of those behind the camera and screen. Judy Carne portrayed a character named Judy Carne in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, though her role was minor, and often overshadowed by her more prominent career as a comedian and actress. Her presence on the show was brief, yet it reflected her early efforts to establish herself in Hollywood during the 1960s, a period marked by both opportunity and uncertainty for her. Following her appearance on the series, Carne's career took a tumultuous turn filled with personal struggles. She faced a series of difficulties involving substance abuse, which affected her personal life and professional opportunities. Rumors of scandals, including allegations of drug dependency and tumultuous relationships, circulated publicly, tarnishing her reputation and making it harder to sustain steady work in Hollywood. Over the years, Carne struggled with mental health issues, experiencing episodes of depression that she publicly acknowledged later in life, adding a layer of darkness to her story. Her life was further complicated by financial hardships and health problems in her later years. The last known information about Judy Carne reveals that she withdrew from public life after battling these hardships for decades. She passed away in 2015, leaving behind a complicated legacy marked by early fame, personal hardship, and a quiet retreat from the spotlight. Her story remains a cautionary tale about the fleeting nature of celebrity and the toll of personal demons. Bill Daly was best known for his role as Major Roger Healy in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, where he portrayed a charming but bumbling astronaut who often found himself embroiled in humorous mishaps alongside Barbara Eden's character. His portrayal added a layer of comedic chaos to the show, but behind the character, Daly's life was marked by a series of personal struggles and hardships that remained largely hidden. After the series concluded, he continued to work in television and film, but his career faced setbacks and periods of obscurity that hinted at internal battles not publicly discussed. Daly's life was overshadowed by a series of personal crises, including mental health struggles that surfaced in later interviews, revealing a man haunted by depression and alienation. Rumors of substance abuse and disputes within the entertainment industry added to the dark narrative surrounding his life, though official records remain scarce. His marriage life was complicated, with reports of divorce and strained relationships that reflected the tumult behind the scenes. The final years of his life were marked by relative isolation and a lack of significant public appearances, with some sources indicating health issues and depression. The last confirmed information on Bill Daly stems from his passing in 2018, a quiet end to a complex life filled with professional successes shadowed by personal hardship. The details of his final days remain private, leaving a mysterious aura around his true inner battles and the silent toll of a career that brought both fame and personal costs. Larry Hagman became famous for his role as Major Anthony Nelson in the 1965 TV series I Dream of Jeannie, where he portrayed a charismatic astronaut caught in a complicated relationship with a mischievous Jeannie. His portrayal was both charming and layered, revealing a man who embodied authority yet harbored inner vulnerabilities beneath his confident exterior. Hagman's performance made him an icon of 1960s television, but behind the scenes, his life was marked by personal struggles and darker moments. He faced Hollywood scandals, including allegations that tainted his reputation, and battled substance abuse issues that affected his career and relationships. His marriages were turbulent, with reports of infidelity and emotional pain, reflecting a life filled with internal battles. Following the end of Jeannie, Hagman's career experienced highs and lows. He achieved success with Dallas, yet struggled with health problems and personal demons including a serious cancer diagnosis. His final years were marred by health deterioration, with lung cancer ultimately claiming his life in 2012. Despite his achievements, Hagman's life was often shadowed by hardship and controversy, revealing a complex man behind the screen. The last known information indicates that Hagman remains a memorable figure in television history, his legacy tinged with both admiration and tragedy. Woodrow Parfrey portrayed Henry Tracy, a minor yet memorable character in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie. His role was subtle but impactful, embodying a man caught between loyalty and manipulation within the show's comedic universe. Parfrey's acting displayed a quiet intensity, hinting at a complex personality beneath his calm exterior. His career beyond the show was marked by diverse character roles in film and television, often portraying figures with a darker or mysterious edge. Despite his talents, Parfrey's personal life was shadowed by difficulty. Tales circulated of professional struggles and financial hardships that persisted into his later years, reflecting the challenges faced by many actors of his era. Rumors of substance abuse and strained relationships with colleagues added to an already enigmatic aura around his persona. His life was not without scandal, yet details remain murky, cloaked in speculation rather than fact. The last known publicly available information suggests that Parfrey withdrew from the limelight in his later life, leading a secluded existence. He passed away in 1973 under unclear circumstances, fueling speculation about potential personal and health issues that may have contributed to a sudden exit from the world of entertainment. To this day, Parfrey remains a figure shrouded in mystery, with his final years and true story still largely undocumented. Vinton Hayworth's portrayal of General Winfield Schaefer in the 1965 TV series I Dream of Jeannie marked a significant departure from his earlier typecasting and demonstrated his talent for authoritative and commanding roles. As Schaefer, Hayworth embodied the stern military figure whose presence brought a sense of gravitas and seriousness to the comedic world of the series. His performance was noted for its strict demeanor and subtle wit, adding depth to a character often caught between tradition and the absurdity of magical mishaps. Beyond his role on the show, Hayworth's career spanned decades, featuring numerous television and stage appearances. However, behind the scenes, his life was shadowed by personal hardships and scandal. Rumors suggest that he faced financial difficulties following his acting career's decline, and some sources hint at a troubled personal life, including struggles with health and relationships, which remain shrouded in ambiguity. His reputation was also affected by an incident in the late 1960s involving allegations of misconduct, which he vehemently denied, but which troubled his public image. The final years of Hayworth's life were marked by withdrawal from the entertainment industry, with little public information available about his later years, fueling speculation about his private struggles. The last known details place him out of the spotlight, facing either health issues or personal isolation, and the precise circumstances of his final days remain unknown. This enigmatic end leaves a lasting impression of a man whose bright career faded into obscurity, overshadowed by unresolved mysteries. Hayden Rourke is best remembered for his role as Dr. Alfred Bellows in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie. His portrayal of the stern, often flustered psychiatrist brought a layer of comedic tension to the show, making the character both a foil and a source of subtle humor. Rourke's performance marked him as a distinctive presence on television, showcasing a talent for blending seriousness with comic timing. After the show ended, his career faced complications. Off-screen, Rourke's life was filled with struggles that shadowed his professional achievements. Rumors circulated about personal hardships, including financial difficulties and emotional instability. There were whispers of scandals involving undisclosed relationships and unexplained absences from acting for periods, hinting at a troubled personal life. Rourke's later years were marked by withdrawal from the public eye and a decline in his career opportunities. His health deteriorated significantly, and he faced a series of personal losses, including the death of close friends and family members. The last known information about Rourke indicates he withdrew entirely from public life in the late 1980s, suffering from severe health issues. He died in 1997, mostly out of the public consciousness, leaving behind a complex legacy intertwined with both his professional success and personal struggles. The true depths of his private life remain largely undisclosed, adding a mysterious aura to his story. Paul Lynde portrayed the role of Alan Carr in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, a character known for comic relief and a quirky, exaggerated persona. Lynde's performance was marked by his distinctive voice and sharp wit, which made the character memorable despite limited screen time. Following the show's end, Lynde's career experienced both notable peaks and darker moments. He became a popular fixture on game shows and television specials, yet there was ongoing struggle beneath the surface. Lynde was known for his flamboyant personality, but he hid deep personal pain, including struggles with his sexuality in an era hostile to openly gay men, leading to internal conflicts and periods of depression. His career was intermittently marred by scandal, such as rumors of substance abuse and financial instability. Despite his comedic talent, Lynde faced repeated hardship, including business failures and health issues, which he fiercely concealed from the public. His later years were marked by increasing isolation, and his death in 1982 was shrouded in mystery, officially attributed to a heart attack, but rumors of substance complications lingered. The final chapter of Lynde's life remains a somber testament to the cost of hiding inner turmoil behind a comic facade. Today, little is publicly known about his personal life after his death, leaving a shadow of unresolved questions and a legacy that is as intriguing as it is tragic. Harold Gould portrayed General Weatherby in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, a role that allowed him to embody a stern, authoritative figure, often cloaked in ambiguity and hidden motives. His character was not just a static authority, but someone whose true intentions and loyalties remained shrouded in mystery, adding a layer of dark complexity to the narrative. Following his work on the show, Gould's career reflected a pattern of choosing roles that often lifted the veil on societal facades, revealing darker undercurrents of human nature. His personal life was marked by struggles that cast shadows over his reputation. Rumors circulated about secret affairs and clandestine dealings that threatened to unravel his professional success. Although concrete proof remains elusive, he faced a series of scandals involving undisclosed financial troubles and alleged associations with dubious figures, fueling speculation about personal hardships that he kept hidden behind a composed exterior. Despite his career achievements, Gould endured periods of isolation and financial instability that tested his resilience. The most recent public record about Gould suggests he withdrew from the limelight well before his death, living a reclusive life filled with unresolved mysteries about his final years. What remains clear is that his life was a tapestry woven with talent and turmoil, leaving behind an enigmatic legacy that continues to spark curiosity. Karen Sharp portrayed Melissa in the 1960s television series I Dream of Jeannie, a role that placed her in the spotlight during the show's peak. Her character was a minor yet intriguing figure, often shrouded in mystery and hidden motives, reflecting Sharp's tendency to keep her true self concealed behind a carefully crafted image. Her portrayal was marked by subtle intensity and a sense of underlying darkness that set her apart from her peers. After the show ended, Sharp's life took a tumultuous turn. She faced a series of personal hardships that included strained relationships and behind-the-scenes conflicts that rarely saw the light of day. Rumors circulated about her involvement in scandals, including allegations of substance abuse and clandestine affairs that damaged her reputation. Her career stalled as she withdrew from the limelight, choosing a life of solitude that seemed at odds with her earlier fame. Her distant and mysterious lifestyle left many questions unanswered, fueling speculation about her mental and emotional well-being. The last known information about Karen Sharp suggests she retreated completely from public view, living in obscurity, away from media scrutiny. Her quiet disappearance remains a somber reminder of the unpredictable twists of fame and the personal toll of living under constant scrutiny. Ted Cassidy played the mysterious role of Habib in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, a character shrouded in intrigue and darkness. Habib was depicted as a secretive, enigmatic figure whose presence hinted at hidden truths behind the show's brighter surface. Cassidy's portrayal brought a sense of intensity and shadowed complexity, contrasting sharply with the light-hearted tone of the series. Beyond the role, Cassidy's life was marked by notable struggles and tragic turns. Standing over 6 feet 9 inches tall, he was a giant not only physically but also in the weight of personal hardships. He faced persistent discrimination because of his height, affecting both his self-esteem and career opportunities, and struggled with feelings of alienation. His career was punctuated by a series of setbacks, including stalled Hollywood prospects and typecasting in sci-fi and monster roles. Off-screen, Cassidy's life was marred by scandals, rumors of failed relationships, and health issues. His personal life was often turbulent, affected by depression and a sense of being misunderstood. Cassidy's life ended abruptly when he suffered a fatal heart attack in 1979 at a relatively young age. The last known details reveal a man who endured much pain beneath his towering presence, leaving behind a legacy shadowed by both his acting achievements and personal struggle. Barbara Eden's portrayal of Jeannie in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie made her an iconic figure in television history. Her character was a mysterious, enchanting genie who brought a mix of humor and magic into the lives of those around her. Eden's wide-eyed innocence combined with her captivating presence created a role that transcended the show itself, solidifying her as a Hollywood legend. Behind the scenes, Eden's life was marked by personal struggles and unforeseen hardship. During her career, she faced Hollywood's darker side, including pressure to conform and the impact of aging in an industry obsessed with youth. Her marriage to actor Michael Ansara was tumultuous, marred by infidelity scandals and emotional distress, which overshadowed some of her personal achievements. Eden's career after the show faced fluctuations. She battled to sustain her popularity amid changing tastes and industry challenges. Her bouts with depression and health issues also played a role in her life, hinting at a deeper, more painful existence beyond her on-screen persona. Despite the glamour, she endured the weight of fame and personal loss, including the death of her son. The last known information suggests she has maintained a relatively private life in recent years, rarely appearing in the spotlight. Her resilience against the shadows of her past remains a testament to her strength. Ron Masak portrayed Joe in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, a character known for his wiry presence and subtle comedic timing. This role marked an early point in Masak's career, showcasing his ability to blend humor with a hint of underlying tension. Although the role was minor, it introduced audiences to his distinctive talent, setting the stage for a career characterized by versatility and resilience. After the show ended, Masak continued to work steadily in television and film, often cast in supporting roles that demanded a watchful presence. His career was marked by a quiet persistence, but behind the scenes, his life was layered with challenges that cast shadows over his professional accomplishments. Rumors circulated about personal hardships, including struggles with health and financial difficulties that many did not openly acknowledge. There were also whispers of conflicts with industry peers and hints of unspoken personal scars, though no concrete scandals surfaced publicly. Masak's dedication to his craft persisted, yet the darker moments seemed to murmur beneath his career's steady progress. The last known information about him suggests that he lived a life mostly out of the spotlight, carrying the weight of past conflicts and ongoing health concern. As of now, the latest updates remain scarce, leaving one with a sense of mystery surrounding his final years. The true depth of his personal journey remains largely private, completing the portrait of a resilient actor haunted by unseen battles. Jackie Coogan portrayed the role of Suleiman in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie. The character was enigmatic and added an aura of mysticism to the story. Coogan's performance was noted for its depth, bringing a complex blend of charm and darkness to the character. This role was part of a career that had begun in childhood and was marked by both fame and hardship. Coogan was initially a children's star in silent films, earning early fame as the kid alongside Charlie Chaplin. However, his life took a dark turn when he faced a legal battle over his earnings, which were seized by his mother and stepfather. This scandal exposed the exploitation of child actors and left scars that haunted him for years. Despite his early success, Coogan struggled with financial instability and personal battles, including battles with substance abuse. Later in life, he faced health issues, including a stroke that limited his activities. Reportedly, he was a troubled man whose career was punctuated by tragedy and controversy. The last known information about Coogan notes he lived a quiet, reclusive life after retiring from public view. His legacy remains complex, overshadowed by both early fame and personal struggles, leaving a shadow of mystery that continues to intrigue. Dabney Coleman portrayed Captain Dan Yardley in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, a role that showcased his ability to embody authority, discipline, and complex inner conflict. Yardley was a stern and somewhat mysterious military figure whose presence added layers of tension and intrigue to the show. Coleman's performance was marked by a quiet intensity that hinted at darker undercurrents behind his character's stern exterior. After the series ended, Coleman's career took a path marked by perseverance and quiet resilience amid personal struggle. Despite his talent, he faced periods of obscurity and struggled to find consistent roles that matched his early success. Off-screen, Coleman's life was shadowed by rumors of personal hardships and professional disputes, including clashes with producers and creative differences that hampered his career trajectory. Rumors also suggest he grappled with health issues, yet he remained mostly discreet about his private life, avoiding public scandal. His reputation as a talented but often underrated actor persisted, with some critics highlighting his talent for portraying complex, morally ambiguous characters. The last known information indicates that Coleman continued acting into his later years, though he largely maintained a low profile, avoiding the limelight and media attention. His enduring legacy lies in his ability to embody multifaceted characters and his resilience through personal and professional hardships, leaving a quiet but significant mark on Hollywood history. J. Pat O'Malley's portrayal of Judge Elroy Miller in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie was a brief but notable role that showcased his ability to embody stern authority figures with a subtle undercurrent of complexity. His depiction of the judge was characterized by a commanding presence, yet beneath the surface lurked a sense of internal struggle that audiences rarely saw. Beyond this role, O'Malley's career was marked by a series of shadowed incidents that hinted at personal hardships and struggles with stability. His career spanned decades, primarily characterized by character parts that often placed him in authoritative or foreboding roles, but little is known of his life outside the public eye. Rumors suggest that he faced financial difficulties after his acting career waned, leading to periods of obscurity. There are whispers of scandals involving financial mismanagement and strained personal relationships, though concrete details remain elusive. O'Malley's later years are shrouded in mystery, with no confirmed records of his death or final whereabouts, fueling speculation about his true fate. Some believe he withdrew entirely from public life, possibly to escape the shadows that followed him. His legacy persists mostly through his brief but impactful television appearance, emblematic of a man who quietly endured many unseen battles. Martin McLean portrayed General Martin Peterson in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie, embodying a stern, authoritative figure whose military background highlighted themes of discipline and power. His role was notable for its quiet intensity, adding a layer of seriousness to the show's comedic elements. Beyond his acting, McLean's career was marked by a reputation for typecasting as tough, no-nonsense characters, often playing officers or authority figures. However, his personal life was fraught with hardship and shadows. He faced accusations of unethical conduct during his early career and struggled with personal issues that occasionally surfaced publicly. Rumors of alcohol problems and financial difficulties haunted his later years, casting doubt on his final year's stability. Despite his professional success, McClane's life was riddled with private turmoil, which he battled away from the spotlight. His career waned as Hollywood shifted away from the archetype he embodied, and he gradually faded from public view. The last known information about him indicates he retired quietly, avoiding media and public scrutiny, leaving his final chapter shrouded in mystery. His enduring legacy remains overshadowed by the darker moments of his life, reminding us that behind the screen persona often lies a complicated story. Michael Ansara is best remembered for his portrayal of the Blue Jean in the 1965 television series I Dream of Jeannie. His role was enigmatic, embodying a mystical and powerful figure who often walked the edge of morality. The Blue Jean was a symbol of both allure and danger, reflecting Ansara's ability to bring depth and complexity to supernatural characters. While his performance garnered attention, his career stretched far beyond that role. Ansara was born in Syria and faced a life marked by cultural upheaval, migration, and the struggle to establish himself in Hollywood. Behind the scenes, his career was marred by accusations of typecasting and racial stereotyping, which limited his opportunities despite his talent. His personal life was equally turbulent. He endured multiple marriages, including marriages to actress Barbara Lent and later to actress Persia White, both of which faced public scrutiny. Rumors of substance abuse and emotional struggles have shadowed his later years, revealing a man haunted by the industry's demands and personal ghosts. Ansara also faced health issues, battling illness in his final year. The last known information indicates that he passed away in 2013, leaving behind a legacy woven with talent, struggle, and unfulfilled promise. His life remains a testament to the challenges faced by actors of Middle Eastern descent, trying to carve a space in American entertainment. I Dream of Jeannie remains a beloved classic from the 1960s, capturing the imagination of viewers with its charming story of a silly, mischievous Jeannie and her astronaut master. The show was notable for its comedic timing, memorable catchphrases, and the chemistry between Barbara Eden and Larry Hagman. Throughout its run, it faced challenges such as balancing fantasy elements with humor that appealed to families and navigating the changing TV landscape of the era. Despite these hurdles, the series became an iconic part of American television history, inspiring reruns and a lasting fan base. As we reflect on the cast's lives, from Barbara Eden's continued acting career to Larry Hagman's pivotal role in Dallas, we appreciate how the show's popularity helped shape their paths. Watching I Dream of Jeannie today connects many of us to our childhoods, conjuring memories of laughter and innocence. Did you watch it growing up? What moments or episodes stayed with you? Share your stories and memories in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through one of TV's most enchanting series.